But here, you are recognizing, first of all, that time is collapsing into this thing, that the environment of the mountains and the lands beneath you. And by the way, all of you are coming fairly close to solid ground because of you are going along the side of a mountain now. So when your insects are skimming along and there is ground sometimes that's not that far away. Right? So it's not like you are way high in the air anymore. It's like the altitude has risen, and so now there's land to the side of you and sometimes below you. So that's your sit. But so you are getting a good look at the ground and the forest. It is not the kind of plant life that you are used to seeing. You have been through these mountains, and it's not right. The air feels different. It is wetter. It is hotter. The plants are a completely different type. There are few trees and a lot of very strange, huge bushes.
Okay.
So that's you're realizing that although this is not a trap with intent to harm, this thing is definitely having or is surrounded by some sort of very strange effect on time.
I'll explain it to the rest of the group.
As best you can, yes. Everyone, let's see. Urko, make a cult lore roll. Zort, in fact, everybody make a cult lore roll.
Cult or local knowledge?
Cult.
Okay.
Right. This is actually fairly important for everybody.
Yes.
Okay.
16.
44. That's not good.
No, okay.
I got a 41 and I have 65 in cult lore.
Excellent. What about Sandra?
I have 13.
Oh, good. That's definitely a success for you. So what the two of you realize is that if you were to go, in many ways, this is how far time has come from this thing, which is not very much time at all since the dawn of time. In many ways, you guys are proceeding backwards in time the closer you get to this thing, not because you are traveling through time, but because the closer you get to it, the slower time moves. So even though none of you are experts in evolution, these creatures that Zhong had enchanted or somehow either on purpose or not on purpose had magically created to go and talk to you, this is what they are like now. This is what they are like in the appropriate time period. And the effects of his spell seem to be reduced drastically. They know Zort is important somehow, but not much else. They are no longer able to communicate with you. You have moved into a zone of time that is before when his spell affected, when his spell took place. So you can expect more of this weirdness. And so in many ways, you are traveling straight into the origin of time right now.
Would it be fair to say that Skava can't comprehend this?
You did not make your cult lore roll, so to you this is
no, and I'm pretty sure this is far beyond what she would understand and comprehend.
Right.
The one thing that she realizes is something is seriously wrong and is getting worse.
Right. Now, from Urko's point of view and Akindu's as well, everything that I just said probably would have to be translated into the doctrine and teachings of your cult. And as we know, that kind of language is completely ridiculous to anybody outside it. You know, ask
So we can't even explain it.
ask somebody in the 4th century the difference between Christ's energy being divine, but his essence being human or something like that, right? And they will talk for an hour to explain all of that to you. So that's the kind of language and thinking that your characters are doing right now. But the content is what I said. So let's see. The Zort had talked to them, and Ikindu, you had cast your spell, and now it is what they are doing. And they are all flying straight at Zort. They are all flying straight at Zort, and they are all going to grab him. Okay, I see you.
Make that -1.
What does that mean? That's
I'm shooting right now.
no. Oh, I know
Free
that. Yeah, I
target.
get that. Yeah, I was curious about the dice roll.
That was a 38.
You are perfectly capable of skewering one of these creatures and mark your bow or your
Yes.
mark your bow for an improvement. And so in your case too, since it's speed dart, not multi-missile, that means you get +2 damage.
+3.
+3.
And
yes.
I rolled a 6, whatever that may be on those animals.
Here,
You tell me.
let me quickly get the hit location as well. Right in the chest.
7
Mm-hmm.
damage.
Oh, 7 damage. I thought it was 6 + 3.
No, I still have to roll.
Oh, okay.
But I can add 3 damage.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that was a 4 + 3, so that's 7.
Okay, perfect. Well, that is plenty, actually. It does have its some feathery armor, but not very much. So your arrow is going to punch straight through its chest and stick there. I mean, it's pretty big. Like I said, they all grew bigger. So they are each about the size of a person now. But you have basically completely center shot it like a hunter into a prey animal. And
Something's still working like it should.
Exactly. So it will, since it's the reptilian aspects of its body are suddenly very, very clear to you in the way that it seems to try to tie itself into a knot around the arrow. As soon as it strikes and punctures it, it kind of tries to, it involuntarily just spasms there and then drops like a stone. So that's
well, I prepare the next arrow.
That I understand. So let me quickly toss you out from here. Right? So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here the rest come grabbing at Zort. They're all going to get in each other's way. They're the size of people, so it's not as though 5 of them can all grab him at once. So I'm going to make 2 attacks as the rest of them create a frenzy of wings and tails and things all around Zort. Yes. And so a 94 fails to hit. And a 76 fails to hit. So I'm just going to say that they all swarmed upon you, shrieking your name, and the ones that even had a chance to grab onto you were incapable of doing so. I suspect that you probably did everything you could to, defend yourself as well. So,
yeah.
Excellent. So, Urko, you are the next person. Your axes and things are ready.
I was wondering, are they close to me?
Well, that's...
You're really close?
We probably could have done well to have three-dimensional miniatures floating in the air so that I don't just make up an answer to this question. Here is where we do what we are just discussing at the forum right now. For you to be in the right place that you want would be very lucky at this time.
Okay,
because you don't really control your mount very well, and lots of things have been happening. So, and I don't really feel like playing the mind of your particular dragonfly. So we will just see if you are lucky. Roll a 65 or less. Actually, with your spell, you cast your dispel, so it's going to be a 55 or less.
Okay. $68.
Oh, okay. So you are a little bit distance away. You are in axe throwing distance, but not in axe striking distance. You will have to try to get your bug closer to do that.
Yeah, because my initial thought now was not to attack. Well, not with my axes anyway.
What then?
I want to jump on it.
Oh, that's possible. I don't see any reason not to. I probably should have anticipated this. You love jumping onto things. You've been doing it.
Yeah, I did with octopus.
I know. I just remembered. Okay, so go ahead.
$55.
That's not bad for dexterity
times 5
roll. Did I make it? Yeah, you have dexterity times 5. It wasn't really that hard. And so you are jumping into the bunch of the creatures, correct?
Yes.
The reason I made it a dexterity times 5 is because it really wasn't that. It's a pretty big bunch. It's a lot of them. This is a pretty big space. So you find yourself careening through a tangle of feathers and limbs. Zort, do you want to try to catch Urko?
Is he free falling?
Well, it's not free falling because there is all these tails and wings and claws and beaked faces and things all coming at you and stuff like that, and he is crashing through them.
What? He's throwing himself. No. Oh, shite. I don't know if I can control the mount. If I, is there like a harness? Is it called harness? That you control the mount, or am I just holding on to it?
Well, no, there is no harness, but there's enough pieces of it that it's not that hard to, manage it somehow.
Guess I'm gonna have to just hold my Romfia in one arm and try and catch Urko in the other one.
Go ahead.
What do I roll?
This is actually more of a strength issue. Strength times 5.
All right.
85 or less for you.
Yeah, that's a 50.
Okay.
So
that's not a problem. You are able to, as he slams into you, you are able to get a good grip on him, and it's kind of like, hello.
Urko, what are you had your?
I have an idea. Thanks for catching me.
I love that. In the midst of it all, it's Urko's like, I have an idea. I will tell you one of the physical consequences. All of them swarming upon you slowed or almost stopped or slowed your forward motion in the first place. Second, that you are by far the largest member of the group, and so your insect was always flying a little lower and a little slower than any of the others.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular action of Urko joining you, I believe has moved your dragonfly close to the ground and effectively to a stop. Although the wings can hover, as Helma has rightly pointed out, dragonflies can actually stay still in one spot, and so it does, but at the moment you are not traveling forward, and you are very close to the ground.